Hello guys from Plant Reviews. Today the 6th of July and I'm talking now about Trollius Golden Queen, one of my favorite non-fragrant plants, because I also love a few plants that are not fragrant. Trollius is a genus of species in the family Ranunculaceae, so in the buttercup family. The genus name Trollius comes from the Swiss vernacular troll, that means globe. In particular, reference to some European species of Trollius, specifically Trollius europaeum, Trollius species that has globe-shaped flowers because the petals basically curl over the flower, giving indeed the appearance of a kind of globe-shaped. Trollius is a genus of about 30 species from the northern hemisphere and with the most diversity in Asia. This variety, the Trollius Golden Queen, it is debated if it's a cultivar of Trollius chinensis or a hybrid between Trollius chinensis and Trollius lebori. However, it is most commonly sold as just Trollius Golden Queen, without specifying if it's a hybrid or a species. This plant is a herbaceous perennial, and Trollius sinensis come mostly from China and Russia, as the name suggests. However, it is very adaptable in the UK as well as in many temperate areas. This is an herbaceous perennial, and it forms a clump of plants. I bought this plant about 3 years ago, and it has constituted a nice clump. It reaches about 90 centimeters, but considering that I have this plant together with so many other plants, including lilies, that are extremely tall, this plant actually stretched out to more than 1 meter tall. And the flowers are, as you can see, are absolutely gorgeous, stopping about the foliage. The foliage itself is composed of palmate leaves that are also toothed, as you can see, and they are dark green. The stems are very erect. It's a very tall plant. You can actually see from the bottom how these plants stretch out to the top. It's not very clear, unfortunately, because I have so many plants, but you can actually see this indeed is the stem of the Trollius. Is absolutely tall, and as you can see, coming up with its beautiful flowers. The flowers, sorry guys, I have to go in between my lilies to show you the Trollius. The stems are very erect and bear these solitary flowers. The flowers in Trollius Golden Queen are bright yellow, almost orange, and are apparently what look like petals are actually petaloid sepals, and you can actually see the petaloid sepals. There's like a two series of petaloid sepals. You can see these bright yellow sepals that, unlike Trollius europaeus, in which the give a flower a globe appearance, in Trollius, in this variety, they are quite flat. However, in the inner part of the flower, there are some other petaloid sepals that basically are much very different, and as you can see, they are kind of pointy and gives the appearance of a crown in the inner part of the tepals of the flower, almost like a daffodil. In the inner area, instead, there are the real petals that are much shorter and actually bear the nectarines, the area of the flower where the nectar is kept. Trollius Golden Queen is absolutely loved by pollinators, especially bees and bumblebees, attracted a lot by the beautiful bright orange flower, and this is one of the best plants for pollinators indeed. And also, I think, considering the striking shape of the flower, is also extremely gorgeous if you have a tropical looking garden, because I think the flowers are quite something very different from the usual buttercup flower that we expect in the family Ranunculaceae. About the blooming season, as you know, is early July today, and this plant indeed blooms between late spring and summer. It is a plant that might require staking, especially if you have it in a quite windy place. However, even if this area is quite windy, this plant is surrounded by so many other tall plants, including lilies, ornamental onions, as well as climbers at the back, that grows up in a quite protected area. And you can see, actually, I have a delphinium as well, another member of the family of the Ranunculaceae, just next to it. It is a very easy plant to grow. It grows in a wide variety of soils, can grow in clay soils, sandy soils, loamy soils. However, it really thrives in soils that can retain moisture even in summer, when indeed this plant is actively growing, because this plant goes dormant in winter. It's a deciduous plant, so the foliage is not evergreen. The flowers are about 4 or 5 centimeters. In my case, they are a bit smaller, I think, because we had a very dry summer this year. They were bigger last year, so they didn't reach full potential, unfortunately. However, they are still absolutely gorgeous, with this incredibly bright yellow. And even if they are a little bit hidden by the lilies at the front, you can still notice the beautiful flowers. In an ideal world, I would have planted obviously the Trollius Golden Queen in front of the lilies. However, I bought the lilies after the Trollius Golden Queen, and there was no space left at the back, so I had to plant the bulbs in front of the Trollius. And even if aesthetically it's not really a great choice, as you can see, the Trollius didn't absolutely mind blooming still very nicely in my garden. It is really an easy plant to grow. You can absolutely grow it in almost any soil, really. As long as, I said, it retains some moisture. Hardiness coming from Trollius chinensis, that is very probably the species that this cultivar is originated from, or at least one of the 2 parents, comes from Asia and the eastern part of Russia. And this obviously is a clue of China, especially not all Asia, but China and the eastern part of Russia. So it means that this species it is hardy in cold climates. Indeed, is hardy down to USDA zone 7. That is, it is fully hardy throughout to UK. This plant, and indeed in my garden, survived perfectly fine the beast from the east, basically the cold weather, the very cold weather, and snowy with snowfall, so we had in March 2018, with the temperature below -7 in my garden for about a week, and the plant did perfectly fine, blooming absolutely beautiful the spring after. The propagation of this plant can be done by division or by seeds. I actually try to plant the seeds, but I didn't have much success, not even one sprouted. I'm not too sure why. Maybe the soil at some point dried out, or possibly slugs were able to get into the plantlets before I actually even noticed the plantlets growing. So unfortunately I've not been able to grow this plant by seeds. However, this is a very easy plant to find both in garden centers and online. I actually bought my plant from the Morrison supermarket. It was like £2, I think, very very cheap. It is actually a very inexpensive plant to buy, and as I said, considering the absolutely beautiful flowers, you can make a nice border with several of these plants at a very good price, at least in the UK. I'm not sure about the prices in other countries, but I don't think they might be much more expensive anyway. As I said, the plant is not evergreen, it's a deciduous plant, so in autumn the plant dies down and you need to cut back in order obviously to make your garden a bit tidier, especially much tidier than mine, as you can see, where I didn't do any cleaning from my tulips and daffodils that died down in late spring and early summer, and they have really to take care of this in the next few days. So I hope to not have forgot, I don't think I've forgotten anything about the Trollius Golden Queen. As I said, absolutely beautiful flower for the back border, reaching a height about 90 centimeters to 1 meter tall. Beautiful, bright, gorgeous yellow flowers with a very interesting shape. Ideal for, I think, tropical looking garden. This plant is great, but also is used in cottage garden. It is a really, really versatile plant, very adaptable to any kind of soils. Just give to the plant enough moisture, especially in spring and summer, and we will see this plant thriving and forming very nice clumps. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you would like if you liked the video and would like to support the channel, it would be great if you can please subscribe. If you didn't like the video, give us a thumbs down, and it would be great if you can also specify down below what you didn't like of the video, so I will try to improve my next videos. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.